My God, I just wonder what would have happened if progressives had gotten their $6 trillion wish earlier this year.
Yeah, in an ironic way, you almost have to thank Joe Manchin for blocking that, because $6.5 trillion of spending in this economy would make these numbers look small.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and it is absolutely incredible how things have flipped with inflation, stimulus, and Senator Joe Manchin. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because I know there was a lot of people that were very upset with Senator Joe Manchin last year when they were trying to pass the Build Back Better bill.
We cannot allow one lone senator from West Virginia to obstruct the president's agenda, to obstruct the people's agenda. Jake, all I want for Christmas is a senator that has compassion for the American people and not contempt.
I hope that we will bring a strong bill to the floor of the Senate as soon as we can and let Mr. Manchin explain to the people of West Virginia why he doesn't have the guts to stand up to powerful special interests. If he doesn't have the courage to do the right thing for the working families of West Virginia and America, let him vote no in front of the whole world.
And we had seen progressives say, listen, we need $6 trillion, $7 trillion, $10 trillion in spending for the Build Back Better bill, because we need monthly reoccurring $2,000 stimulus checks. We need bump ups to Social Security. We need to wipe out student loan debt, child tax credits. We need to extend unemployment benefits. All of these provisions, they need to happen now. And we had Joe Manchin, sometimes being the lone senator, sometimes with Kirsten Sinema as well, blocking it, saying, no, listen, we cannot do this, because if we do, inflation is going to be out of control. And he said, I cannot get on board with that. We need to cut this down significantly. The only way I will do it is if we repurpose existing stimulus funds that are there, or we tax the rich, find a way to have it pay for itself. But he said, I will not add new spending to our nation.
Senator Joe Manchin delivering a likely death blow to the Build Back Better plan. The West Virginia moderate, a key Democrat vote needed to pass the bill, is saying today he won't vote for the plan.
I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no.
And a lot of people were very upset, blaming him as one of the sole people for blocking all of these provisions. Well, now, today, we're seeing headlines coming out saying, thank Joe Manchin that inflation is not higher and interest rates are not higher as well. Wow, how the tables have turned. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Take a look at these headlines, you guys. Steve Rattner, Democrats should thank Joe Manchin for blocking spending, would make inflation numbers way worse. Inflation, MSNBC host ex-Obama advisor praises Joe Manchin for killing Biden's Build Back Better plan. Stephen Rattner said, in an ironic way, you almost have to thank Joe Manchin that inflation and interest rates are not worse than they are. Now, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to share with you the video footage, and also I'm going to give you an update as to where things currently stand in the battle against inflation and what Joe Biden had to say. Now, if you missed my video yesterday, you might want to check it out, as I did some highlights for you. As Joe Biden, he came out and he said, listen, the economy, we're struggling with inflation right now, but under my presidency, things are going good. We're in a position to battle this. And I'm going to share with you, he's saying we've got more work to do, though, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to get Democrats on board. They're going to unify and get things through, because right now, he is losing a lot of support in his Democratic Party. They're distancing themselves from him. We heard that 50 Democratic congressmen came out over the weekend anonymously and said they would not support him for a re-election run in 2024. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys. But in addition to that, we're also hearing Republicans now are stepping up and saying, listen, Democrats, they're not stepping up to the plate, but we can go ahead and help you out if you vote us in power in these upcoming elections. And if you do, here's a list of all the things that you're going to be seeing, all the things that Democrats have failed to do while they've been in full control. Now, if you missed that video, you might want to check it out as well. And also, we're hearing that all of this is circulating around existing stimulus funds. Out of $5.7 trillion that's gone out from previous stimulus packages, there's still about $800 billion just sitting there in a bank account that's just unused funds. And they're saying that the president, via executive order or Congress, they could tap into those funds without adding more to the debt and repurpose it, reissue it, and send out checks, provisions, and things to help out as we're experiencing this record high food prices, gas prices, and 41-year high inflation. Now, we will see you guys. I will keep you up to date, but let's dive into the video footage, getting you caught up on the latest. Now, before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget to take a quick second to smash that like button for me. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Joe Manchin and inflation. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance, and more information coming about a comprehensive list of all checks on all levels, states, counties, cities, because there's not just federal level checks. There's an assortment of them, but many of them, you have to know about them and you have to apply, and you only have a limited amount of time where they're available to you. I'm going to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, because we're hearing about 90% of people that are eligible for these checks, they completely miss out, didn't even know they had money at their disposal. But I'm going to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, you guys. So with that being said, though, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with some video footage of what they had to say about Thank Joe Manchin.
This is what we've been warning of. This is what happens. I was wondering why it was taking so long, but you flood the economy with too much money, with too much government debt, with too many, too many government programs, too much deficit spending. This is exactly what happens. And my God, I just wonder what would have happened if progressives had gotten their $6 trillion wish earlier this year.
Yeah, in an ironic way, you almost have to thank Joe Manchin for blocking that, because $6.5 trillion of spending in this economy would make these numbers look small. Yeah, look, we had a huge budget deficit. We had an unbelievably aggressive reaction by the Fed to the pandemic. You can kind of understand why they were trying, but they just tried too hard. And now we're all going to pay the consequences in a very, very tough environment over the next year or two while this gets sorted out.
And by the way, I wouldn't even say ironically thank Joe Manchin. You can just thank Joe Manchin if you're glad that interest rates aren't even higher.
Jobs are back, but prices are still too high. COVID is down, but gas prices are up. Our work isn't done.
Soaring inflation showing few signs of easing up, a stubborn economic and political problem for President Biden.
It's never been this high.
Gas prices averaging a whopping $5 a gallon for the first time. The U.S. stock market tumbling into bear market territory, and the cost of consumer goods rising at the fastest pace in 4 decades.
So I have a plan to bring down the cost of gas and food. It's going to take time.
The president traveling to Philadelphia today to once again address those economic issues. Biden in part blaming the war in Ukraine for record high gas prices.
I'm doing everything in my power to blunt Putin's gas price hike. Just since he invaded Ukraine, it's gone up $1.74 a gallon.
As well as Republicans in Congress for opposing his legislative agenda.
The problem is, Republicans in Congress are doing everything they can to stop my plans to bring down costs on ordinary families. The fact is, Republicans in Congress are still in the grip of the ultra-MAGA agenda.
Biden also trying to highlight some of the bright spots in the economy.
Since I've become president, we've created 8.7 million new jobs in 16 months, an all-time record. Our unemployment rate is near historic lows. 3.7%.
Still, a year and a half into the Biden presidency, the reality growing increasingly clear. Inflation is still far from abating. Last year, Biden and other top officials had incorrectly predicted that high prices would be a passing phenomenon.
By the way, talk of inflation. The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down.
Biden insisting in recent days that he will give the Federal Reserve ample room to do its work.
I'm not going to interfere with their critically important work.
The central bank now poised to increase interest rates by 0.75 of a percentage point this week, marking the biggest single hike since 1994.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And at the end there, you did hear that right. The Federal Reserve is thinking about increasing interest rates by 75 basis points. They haven't done this since 1994. And yes, this is going to jolt the economy. It's going to be slowing down the rate of money to slow down inflation, but we're hearing this is very likely going to be causing a Federal Reserve-induced recession. So prepare yourself. I'll be sure to keep you up to date on everything so you know what's going on, and I will keep you up to date so you're up to speed on everything. But you guys, that is the latest, and as always, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Again, let me know your thoughts, and if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button. Helps me out a ton. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, I'll keep you up to speed on everything totally free. Just take a second, smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel if you're interested in learning about money, Steve Ram Finance. Consider joining. And with that being said, you guys, as always, thank you so much for joining me here. I will keep you up to date on stimulus, Congress, everything going on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.